The Sukhoi Su-30 is a twin-engine, two-seat supermaneuverable fighter aircraft developed by Russia's Sukhoi Aviation Corporation. It is a multi-role fighter for all-weather air-to-air and air-to-surface deep interdiction missions. The Su-30 started out as an internal development project in the Sukhoi Su-27 family by Sukhoi. The design plan was revamped and the name was made official by the Russian Defense Ministry in 1996. Of the flanker family, only the Su-27, Su-30, Su-34 and Su-35 have been ordered into serial production by the Defense Ministry. All the others, such as Su-37, were prototypes. The Su-30 has two distinct version branches, manufactured by competing organizations, NAPO and the Urquid Corporation, both of which come under the Sukhoi Group's umbrella. NAPO manufactures the Su-30 MKK and the Su-30 MK2, which were designed for and sold to China, and later Indonesia, Uganda, Venezuela, and Vietnam. Due to NAPO's involvement from the early stages of developing Su-35, these are basically a two-seat version of the mid-1990s Su-35. The Chinese chose an older but lighter radar so the cannons could be omitted in return for increased payload. It is a fighter with both air supremacy and attack capabilities generally similar to the U.S. F-15E. Urquid traditionally served the Soviet air defense and, in the early years of flanker development, was given the responsibility of manufacturing the Su-27UB, the two-seat trainer version. When India showed interests in the Su-30, Urquid offered the multi-role Su-30 MKI, which originated as the Su-27UB modified with avionics appropriate for fighters. Along with its ground attack capabilities, the series adds features for the air superiority role, such as cannons, thrust vectoring, and a long-range phased array radar. Its derivatives include the Su-30 MKM, MK and EDM for Malaysia, Algeria, and Russia, respectively. The Russian Air Force operates several Su-30s and has ordered the Su-30 EDM version. Development. While the original Su-27 had good range, it still did not have enough range for the Soviet Air Defense Forces. The Air Defense Forces needed to cover the vast expanse of the Soviet Union. Hence, development began in 1986 on the Su-27PU, an improved capability variant of the Su-27 capable of serving as a long-range interceptor or airborne command post. The two-seat Su-27UB combat trainer was selected as the basis from the Su-27PU, because it had the performance of a single-seat Su-27 and long-range missions require two crew members. A proof-of-concept demonstrator flew to the 6th of June 1987, and this success led to the kick-off of development work on two Su-27PU prototypes. The first Su-27PU flew at Irkutsk on the 31st of December 1989, and the first of three pre-production models flew on the 14th of April 1992. Design. The Su-30 is a multi-role fighter. It has a two-seat cockpit with an air brake behind the canopy. Flight characteristics. The integrated aerodynamic configuration, combined with the thrust vectoring controllability, results in high maneuverability and unique takeoff and landing characteristics. Equipped with a digital fly-by-wire system, the Su-30 is able to perform some very advanced maneuvers, including the Pugachev's Cobra and the tail slide. These maneuvers quickly decelerate the aircraft, causing a pursuing fighter to overshoot, as well as breaking a Doppler radar lock. As the relative speed of the aircraft drops below the threshold where the signal registers to the radar power plant, the aircraft's power plant incorporates two Saturn AL-31F afterburning low-bypass turbofan engines, fed through intake ramps. Two AL-31F each rated at 123 kilonewtons of full afterburning thrust, ensures Mach 2 in level flight, 1,350 km/h speed at low altitude, and a 230 meters per second climbing rate, with a normal fuel reserve of 5,270 kilograms. The Su-30MK is capable of performing a 4.5-HOUR combat mission with a range of 3,000 kilometers. An aerial refueling system increases the range to 5,200 kilometers, a flight duration up to 10 hours at cruise altitudes. Avionics. The aircraft features autopilot ability at all flight stages, including low-altitude flight in terrain following radar mode, and individual and group combat employment against air and ground, sea surface targets. Automatic control system interconnected with the navigation system ensures route, flight, target approach, recovery to airfield and landing approach in automatic mode. Operational history. Syria. Several Su-30 SMS were sent to Syria in the Russian military intervention in Syria to escort and provide target illumination for bombers that launch airstrikes against Islamist rebel groups. Su-30 fighters were reportedly delivered to the Bashar al-Assad International Airport in Latakia, Syria in September 2015. At least 4 Su-30 fighters were spotted in a satellite photo. In late December 2015, there were 16 Su-30 SMS at Khmeimim Air Base. Potential operators. Bangladesh Air Force and the Ministry of Defense announced plans to procure 1 squadron of Su-30 Mk2s after the delivery of 16 Yakovlev Yak-130 in 2015. Thailand formally requested information for the possible acquisition of the Su-30 Mk2. However, the Saab Gripen was procured instead. In February 2016, Russia and Belarus concluded a preliminary agreement that would see the export of an undisclosed number of Su-30s to Belarus. The Iran defense minister announced in February 2016 of its country's intention to buy an undisclosed number of the Su-30 fighters. In January 2016, Armenian Defense Minister Seren Oanian mentioned that Russia had discussed the possibility of supplying Su-30 fighters to Armenia during a 4-day Russian-Armenian Intergovernmental Commission on Bilateral Military Technical Cooperation. Variants. Su-30K commercial version of the basic Su-30. Su-30K Sukhoi proposal for upgrading Russian AF single-seat Su-27s. Also proposed export version for Indonesia. 24 were ordered but subsequently cancelled due to the 1997 Asian financial crisis. Su-30 knots upgrade project for operational 2-seat fighters, the Su-27UB, Su-30 and Su-30K. This was cancelled in Russia but later revived as Su-30M2. Belarus consider updating ex-Indian Su-30K to the Su-30 knot standard. Su-30MK, commercial version of Su-30M first revealed in 1993. Export versions include navigation and communication equipment from Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, a version from manufacturer NAPO based on the Su-30 Mk2. The Russian Air Force placed an initial order for the variant in 2009. Factory tests were completed in September 2010. 20 aircraft have been ordered, 4 in 2009 and 16 in 2012. At least 12 have been produced as of August 2014, all 4 from the first contract in 2009, and 8 from the second contract of 2012. They are mostly to be used as combat training aircraft for upgraded Su-27 fighters. Su-30 MKI stands for Modernizirovanny Kommersheski Indusky, meaning modernized, commercial, Indian. Jointly developed with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for the Indian Air Force. Includes thrust vectoring control and cannons. Equipped with a multinational avionics complex sourced from Russia, India, France and Israel. Su-30 MKK export version for China. MKK stands for Modernizirovanny Kommersheski Kitayski or Modernized Commercial China. Its NATO code name is Flanker G. Su-30 MKM, a derivative of the India-Russian Su-30 MKI. The MKM is a highly specialized version for Royal Malaysian Air Force. It includes thrust vectoring control and cannons but with avionics from various countries. It will feature head-up displays, navigational forward-looking IR system and Damocles laser designation pod from Thales Group of France. More 300 missile approach warning sensor, RWS-50 RWR and laser warning sensor from Saab Aviation as well as the Russian NIIP N011M bars passive electronically scanned array radar, electronic warfare system, optical location system and a glass cockpit. Su-30 MKA version of the Su-30 MKI, except with French and Russian avionics for Algeria. Su-30 MA specialized version of the thrust vectoring Su-30 MKI and MKM variants for the Russian military, produced by the Urkit Corporation. Russia's defense ministry was impressed with the MKI's performance envelope and ordered 30 Su-30 SMS, a localized version of Su-30 MKI, for the Russian Air Force. The Su-30 is considered as 4+ gen jet fighter. The new version has been upgraded based on Russian military requirements for radar, radio communications systems, friend-foe identification system, ejection seats, weapons, and other aircraft systems. The aircraft is equipped with the Bowser radar and the wide-angle HUD. A contract for 60 of the multirole fighter was signed in March 2012 with delivery by 2016. On the 21st of September 2012, Su-30 performed its maiden flight. The export version, the Su-30 was unveiled at the Singapore Air Show 2016. Su-30 MKV export version for Venezuela. Su-30 MK2V Su-30 MK2 variant for Vietnam with minor modifications. Operators. Algerian Air Force has 44 Su-30 MKAs in service and 14 Su-30 MKAs on order as of 2015. Angolan Air Force ordered 18 Su-30K fighters on 16 October 2013 as part of a $1 billion deal that also included other equipment and maintenance services for the country. The Su-30Ks were initially delivered to India in the 1990s but were returned to Russia in 2007. People's Republic of China People's Liberation Army Air Force operates the Su-30 MKK variant. The People's Liberation Army Naval Air Force operates the Su-30 MK2 variant. As of 2012, China operates 76 Su-30 MKK and 24 Su-30 MK2. Indian Air Force operates the Su-30 MKI variant. Russia built the early Su-30 MKIs. Later Su-30 MKIs are assembled indigenously under license by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. The IAF has 200 Su-30 MKIs in service as of August 2014. Indonesian Air Force has ordered a combined 11 Su-30 Mk 2 fighters. As of September 2013, it has all Su-30 Mk 2s in inventory. Kazakh Air Force ordered Su-30 fighters in February 2015. The first 4 were delivered in early 2015. Malaysia. Royal Malaysian Air Force, after a close visit to see India's Su-30 Mki, ordered 18 Su-30 Mkms in May 2003. The first 2 Su-30 Mkms were formally handed over in Irkutsk on 23 May 2007, later arrived in Gongkedak Air Base on 21 June. As part of the contract, Russia sent the first Malaysian cosmonaut to the International Space Station in October 2007. Malaysia has 18 Su-30 Mkms in service. Russian Federation. Russian Air Force has 3 Su-30, 20 Su-30 M2 and 56 Su-30 fighters as of February 2016. An order for 28 Su-30 fighters in April 2016 increased the total to 84 of the variant, with deliveries to be completed by 2018. Russian Naval Aviation. 28 Su-30 SMS on order, 50 planned. 8 aircraft were delivered as of September 2015. Ugandan Air Force ordered 6 Su-30 Mk2s in 2010. The last 2 aircraft from the order were delivered in June 2012. Venezuelan Air Force and the government of Venezuela announced on 14 June 2006 the purchase of 24 units of the Su-30 Mk2. The first 2 Su-30 Mk2s arrived in early December 2006, while another 8 were commissioned during 2007. 14 more units arrived in 2008. A second batch of 12 Su-30 Mkv was also being considered in 2009. It never proceeded further. It has 24 Su-30 Mk2s as of January 2012. In October 2015, Venezuela announced the purchase of 12 more Su-30 Mk2 from Russia for $480 million. Vietnam People's Air Force operates 4 Su-30 Mks and 20 Su-30 Mk2 versus in 2013. On 21 August 2013, Russia announced it would deliver another batch of 12 Su-30 Mk2s under a $450 million contract, with deliveries in 2014-2015. Specifications. Data from K&AAPO, Sukhoi, Gordon and Davison. General characteristics. Crew. 2. Length 21.935 meters. Wingspan 14.7 meters. Height 6.36 meters. Wing area 62.0 square meters. Empty weight 17,700 kilograms. Loaded weight 24,900 kilograms with 56% fuel. Max takeoff weight 34,500 kilograms. Power plant 2 times AL31FL low bypass turbofans. Dry thrust 7,600 kilograms. Force each thrust with afterburner 12,500 kilograms force each. Fuel capacity 9,400 kilograms internally. Performance. Maximum speed Mach 2.0 at altitude. Range 3,000 kilometers at altitude. Service ceiling 17,300 meters. Rate of climb 230 meters per second. Wing loading 401 kilograms per square meter with 56% fuel. Thrust weight with full fuel with 56% fuel 1.00. Maximum G load plus 9 G. Armament Su-30 Mk's combat load is mounted on 12 hardpoints, 2 wingtip arm launch rails, 3 pylons under each wing, 1 pylon under each engine nacelle, and 2 pylons in tandem in the arch between the engines. All versions can carry up to 8 tons of external stores. Guns: 1 times GSH-30-1 gun, AAMs, 6 times R27ER, 2 times R27ET, 6 times R73E, 6 times R77RVVA, ASMs, 6 times KH-31PA anti-radar ship missiles, 6 times KH-29TL laser-guided missiles, 2 times KH-59Me aerial bombs, 6 times KAB-500KR, 3 times KAB-150KR, 8 times FAB-500T, 28 times OFAB-250-270 nuclear bombs. Incidents and accidents. The 12th of June 1999, Paris Air Show, Le Bourget, France. A Russian Su-30 crashed. Both pilots ejected safely and no one was hurt on the ground. The 30th of April 2009, an Indian Air Force Su-30 crashed near Jaisalmer. A pilot died. The 30th of November 2009, an Indian Air Force Su-30 crashed near Jaisalmer. The pilots survived. The 13th of December 2011, an Indian Air Force Su-30 crashed near Pune. Both the pilots ejected and survived the crash. The 14th of October 2014, an Indian Air Force Su-30 crashed in the village of Theora at 5:30 p.m. Both pilots survived. The 19th of May 2015, an Indian Air Force Su-30 crashed 36 kilometers away from Tezpur Air Base. Both pilots survived. The 17th of September 2015, a Venezuelan Air Force Su-30 crashed in southern Venezuela near the town of El Orza while intercepting a small drug smuggling aircraft. Both pilots died. The 14th of June 2016, a Vietnam People's Air Force Su-30 crashed near Hon Mat Island while on a training flight. One pilot, Senior LT, Colonel Tran Quam Kai, died. The C-212-400 from the search and rescue team also crashed near Bak Long Vi Island with 9 crew members aboard while searching for the other pilot along with Vietnam Coast Guard ships, other Vietnam People's Navy ships, and military aircraft. This crash led the Air Force to ground its Su-30 fleet until further investigation has been completed.